Nita is barely inside the hospital door when she hears screams and races back to see what's going on.
At first, I didn't know what was happening. And then when I seen him climbing in my car, it was just terrifying. It was like, I was screaming at the top of my lungs. He had my babies.
It happens just after 4 p.m. on April 25th, 2019, in Middletown, Ohio. A grandmother pulls up to an emergency room with her daughter and grandkids in the car. There's a man squatting near the door who seems out of it. The woman helps her daughter, who hasn't been feeling well for days, into a wheelchair and takes her inside. Just a few seconds later, the strange man approaches the car, jumps into the driver's seat, and floors it, with the grandkids inside.
Sent an officer immediately. Police had a vehicle stolen.
The two young children are just 8 and 10 years old.
I heard them scream, the terror scream of pure fear.
Security cameras capture their grandmother frantically trying to chase the car down.
The grandmother on a dead sprint trying to get control of this vehicle.
Running after the car in sheer panic.
Just like that, a trip to the hospital turns into a nightmare.
So what starts off as a carjacking now is turning into a kidnapping.
It was a life or death situation. If he takes those kids and we don't locate that vehicle, who knows where these kids could have been kidnapped and taken to.
What does this man want, and why has he targeted them?
There's a very good chance they had some pretty nefarious thoughts in mind.
It's a day Nita Coburn will never forget.
It was just the thought that he had them.
When she pulls up to the Atrium Medical Center, she's extremely concerned about her daughter.
When Angie was so sick, she was real sick. I told the kids, you just stay right there, it'll be okay.
As she helps her daughter into the wheelchair, she thinks her grandkids, 10-year-old Skyler and 8-year-old Chance, are safe inside the car.
The kids were in the back seat, and I thought I locked the door, but it wasn't.
Nita is barely inside the hospital door when she hears screams and races back to see what's going on.
At first, I didn't know what was happening. And then when I seen him climbing in my car, it was just terrifying. It was like, I was screaming at the top of my lungs. He had my babies.
Nita immediately dashes after the car. As she approaches, she gets a chilling glimpse of her grandchildren's kidnapper.
He just looked at me and just had this look on his face, a non-caring look. What went through my brain instantly was they were going to be gone and I wasn't going to get them back.
Determined not to let that happen, somehow Nita manages to hang on to the car door.
I grabbed a hold of the door handle. Car door opened up about a few inches. I was hanging onto the door with both my hands.
For a moment, she has a firm grip on the moving car, refusing to let go.
I was hanging on for their lives. I didn't care about me.
But the kidnapper isn't about to let Nita ruin his plan.
And he just jerked that car door closed again.
As the door handle slips out of her hands, Nita tumbles to the ground. But what she doesn't know is that inside the car, the children are fighting to get out, even as the kidnapper desperately tries to keep them trapped inside.
He had grabbed onto Skyler's hoodie, preventing her from leaving.
As the kidnapper struggles to hang on to 10-year-old Skyler, her little brother, Chance, frantically tries to protect her.
He goes to grab his sister to pull her out, but now the kidnapper is pulling her to avoid that from happening. So now we have a really dangerous situation here, but something the young boy does will change everything.
He's probably the bravest kid I've ever met.
Caught on surveillance video.
Their grandmother tried to chase the driver down.
As a strange man drives off with Nita Coburn's car and her grandchildren, 8-year-old Chance and 10-year-old Skyler, still in the back seat, she frantically tries to hold on to the door, but can't keep her grip and falls to the pavement.
When I went down, I twisted around. I got hurt really bad.
Now, the children share what it was like watching their grandmother from inside that car on a ride from hell.
She was so close to the car, and I figured that she was more than likely going to get ran over. It was really scary, very terrifying.
It all begins when they notice this man lurking outside the entrance to the emergency room.
We parked probably about 2-3 feet in front of him. He had a black bag and he was smoking a cigarette. And he started walking towards the car. And he said something in a different language. And then he got in the car and shut the door. I was kind of in shock.